Greetings, one and all. Being a professional athlete comes with plenty of positives, and the National Hockey League is no different. Money, fame, and fans can all be yours if you do your job to the highest level and you are at the top of your game. However, being a professional hockey player in the NHL comes with some lofty expectations, and Islanders goaltender Robin Lehner seems to have struggled with this more than most. In a news article written by Lehner himself and posted on The Athletic on the 13th of September 2018, it was revealed that Lehner has spent much of his professional playing career struggling with mental health issues, suicidal thoughts, as well as drug and alcohol addictions. This video uses said article as its focal point as we delve deeper into what Lehner has been going through, but I shall put a link to the article in the description below should you want to read the full piece yourselves. The article begins by taking us back to March 29th, 2018, describing how Lehner, who was the starting goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres at the time, felt just before and during a panic attack that he suffered between periods of a game. Lehner describes it by saying, quote, "Things started to get blurry and I couldn't focus. I felt very fuzzy." Going on to say, "I walked back and sat in the trainer's room. I could barely get my gear off. I broke down." Lehner then goes on to describe that he was told to sit out the rest of the game and go home to get away from the rink by the doctors, trainers, and Sabres general manager Jason Botterill himself. Whilst on his way home, Lehner grabbed some beer, which was all too commonly used as a coping mechanism by Lehner. However, drinking wasn't his only vice. Lehner had been struggling with, quote, abusing pills as well as alcohol, and he plainly declares in the article, "I was addicted to alcohol and drugs and I didn't want to stop. I couldn't." Lehner's situation was so bad that the night before the panic attack, Lehner made a phone call to his Buffalo goaltending coach Andrew Allen, where Lehner says, quote, "I was drunk. I wanted to kill myself. I was extremely close multiple times." Lehner was clearly at rock bottom, but after realising he couldn't live like this anymore, after realising how he was affecting his relationship with his wife and his young kids, after being asked by his lawyer if he had a drinking problem while reorganising his life insurance policy, something clicked for the 27-year-old. Lehner knew that he had to change the way he was living his life, and he had to change soon, before there wasn't anything left to save. Lehner decided he needed to get help, so after the 17-18 NHL season ended, he enrolled into The Program, which was supported by the NHL and the NHL Players Association. Lehner's article describes his journey to Arizona to one of the best treatment centers in North America, where he was put into a small room to detox and sober up. After 3 weeks of weaning everything out of his body, including alcohol and sleeping pills, which he had been taking for the past 7 years, and going through serious remission from no longer taking these substances, the doctors treating Lehner realised that this wasn't just an addiction. There was something else going on inside Lehner's head, and the booze and the pills were simply a coping mechanism for something that Lehner didn't know about or didn't understand. Then, 5 weeks into his rehab, Robin Lehner was diagnosed with bipolar 1 with manic phases. Whilst this was not the sole cause of his situation, this condition was certainly affecting his mental state in a variety of ways. When Lehner was manic, his personality would change and he would make a lot more impulse decisions, not thinking about the consequences of his actions. But when he was depressed, he couldn't function properly, and it felt like nothing mattered to him, not even his family. These changes were certainly evident when he took to the crease, as during his manic phases, he would play his goaltender position to a high standard and be near undefeatable. But when he was depressed, his numbers would start to drop and he wouldn't be nearly as sharp. These opposite extremes turned out to be the primary cause of Robin Lehner's substance abuse, as they were a way of evening him out. They were a way of calming his brain down so that he could feel better about everything. They numbed the pain. However, Lehner's situation got so bad that he was told if he ever drank again, that he would probably die. This revelation, coupled with the further help from doctors, prompted Lehner to stay at the facility for another 4 weeks. During this time, Lehner began to understand why he did what he did by taking the substances, and how his past experiences had affected him today. He also found religion and was baptized during his recovery, using his newfound faith to help guide him through. Luckily, this story does have a positive conclusion, as Robin Lehner is now sober from both alcohol and drugs for the first time. He has a diagnosis for his mental health struggles, and he has medication in order to minimise the symptoms of his condition, as well as the suicidal thoughts he was feeling. Lehner says he is feeling the best he has ever felt since turning pro as a hockey player, and he looks to take this chance as the Islanders' goaltender and run with it as long as they will let him. I certainly wish Robin Lehner the best of luck with his new team, and I hope that he can continue to fight his demons, get his career back on track, and have a long and healthy life with his wife and children. Stories like this show that even though they are paid millions of dollars to do what they love, NHL players are just as human as the rest of us, and they suffer through the same struggles everyone else does in their day-to-day lives. I personally want to commend Robin Lehner for having the courage to speak up about his struggles and saying he did it in the hopes that he may be able to help others who are suffering the same way he did. That's an absolutely commendable thing to do. Going public with your private battles isn't an easy thing to do, especially in a world of social media where anyone can say whatever they want and be nice or as cruel as they desire about anything. So I want to say thank you, Robin Lehner, for sharing your story. You have gained a lot of respect from myself and many other hockey fans, I'm sure, for being so open and honest about what you went through. Now, before I end this video, I just want to mention a few things. Firstly, I have chosen to demonetize this video out of respect for Robin Lehner and the serious nature of the topics that were discussed in this video. I really don't think it's fair for me to profit off of somebody else's struggles, especially to the point where somebody wanted to kill themselves, so there should be no ads running on this video. That's not me asking you guys to tell me how wonderful I am for demonetizing the video. I just wanted to be transparent with you guys and make it known that that is what I had done. Also, it's very important to mention that if you feel you're struggling with anything that you don't quite understand, or you have heard a lot in this video that is very similar to the way that you are living or coping with your life, I will put a few links to some incredible charities in the description down below that you can take a look at and contact if need be if you feel like you need some help. I'm not expecting to solve the problem for you, but I feel like it's important when talking about this type of issues that I give you guys the correct avenues to seek help should you want or need it. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure you keep yourselves healthy and safe. But for now, goodbye.